Also have news on Lexie Hull. 1 Lexie, 2 Lexie, 3 Lexie, 4, 5. It's 6 Lexie Hulls out there on that floor at all times. She's everywhere.
Caitlin Clark gets all the cameras, all the contracts, and all the chaos. But her teammate has been quietly building something of her own. Lexie Hull just dropped a cosmetics brand, and nobody saw it coming. Honestly, the timing says everything. So before you write this off as just another athlete side hustle, you might want to hear the full story first. Do you think Lexie Hull deserves more recognition for everything she brings to the Indiana Fever? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about Lexie Hull for a second. Not Caitlin Clark. Not the ticket sales. Not the ratings. Not the SI covers, the Nike deals, or the social media meltdowns every time Clark so much as sneezes near a basketball. We're talking about Lexie Hull today, the woman who has spent years playing in the shadow of what is arguably the most talked about player in women's basketball right now, and has somehow managed to stay sane, stay productive, and now apparently stay moisturized. 2. Because Lexie Hull just launched a cosmetics brand.
Courtesy of Yahoo Sports, Indiana Fever's Lexie Hull makes announcement after launching own brand.
And people have feelings about it. Let's break it all down. Who even is Lexie Hull? If you've been sleeping on Lexie Hull, that's okay. A lot of people have, and that's kind of the whole point of this conversation. Hull was the 6th overall pick in the 2022 WNBA draft. 6th overall. That's not a throwaway pick. That's not a we had nothing better to do pick. That's a legitimate, high expectation, we believe in this woman pick. And she has spent every season since then proving that selection was not a mistake. In 2025, she averaged 7.2 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game. Now, before you roll your eyes and say those aren't star numbers, let's pump the brakes for just a moment. Because Hull wasn't asked to be the star. She was asked to be the foundation, the piece that holds everything together while the stars above her shine bright and sometimes fall apart. And fall apart they did. You defended her.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lexie is, well, obviously, as you guys know, she's one of my good friends, so I don't really have many bad things to say about her. But every team in this league should want a Lexie Hull type of player on their team. That's just, never once have I seen her be disappointed in the amount she played. And I was here at the beginning of last year when she was getting DNPs, and was the exact same person as she is right now. As you know, probably she turned into our third option offensively because we lost so many players, but also like she embraced that and she worked for that and she wanted to be in that moment. And I think she's really flourished and her game has improved quite a bit. She's always been such a tenacious defender, and obviously you all know she's had some back troubles throughout the end of this playoffs here. And I'm like, Lex, you just play reckless. You're gonna, I was holding my breath those last few games, but that literally just sums up the type of person she is. She's selfless. She's gonna go out there, she's gonna lay it all on the line for this team. There was never a doubt in her mind if she was ever gonna play a game in the playoffs where she had pain. She was going out there and she was going to play. There was no question, and that really just sums up who she is. And we're really fortunate to have her as a part of our organization, and I hope it's like that for many years to come.
Last season, the Indiana Fever got hit with a wave of injuries that would have completely broken lesser teams. Caitlin Clark went down. Sophie Cunningham went down. Key contributors were dropping like flies. And through all of it, Lexie Hull played every single game. Every single game. While her more celebrated teammates were sitting on injury reports and generating headlines about their recoveries, Hull was lacing up, showing up, and doing the work.
And Mitchell got a hand in there, knocks it away. Both Lexie Hull and Gabby Williams.
She was the anchor. She was the one keeping Indiana from completely unraveling. And yet, when the highlights, reel runs, and sports talk shows fire up their hot takes, how often do you see Lexie Hull's name in the title? Exactly. Now, let's talk about the free agency situation, because this is where things get interesting. Lexie Hull enters 2026 as a free agent. She's completed her 4th season with the Indiana Fever, and now she has options. Now she gets to sit across from teams, look them in the eye, and decide where her next chapter begins. That is a powerful position to be in. And the Fever, for all the star power they possess on paper, should be highly motivated to keep her around. Because what Hull brings to a roster isn't always visible in the box score. It's the defensive assignments she takes on without complaining. It's the screens she sets that free up someone else for an easy bucket. It's the energy she brings when the team is down 10 and desperately needs someone to hold everything together. She's the type of player every championship contender needs, but rarely celebrates loudly enough. So yes, free agency is on the table. And the way Hull is handling this offseason makes one thing very clear. She is not sitting around waiting for someone to call her name. She's making noise in her own way, on her own terms. Enter Ford Cosmetics. Let's talk about the brand. In early 2025, Lexie Hull co-founded a cosmetics company called Ford Cosmetics. She partnered with former beauty investor Sarah Guller to build something with a very specific mission, makeup that actually works for athletes. Not makeup that looks great for 30 seconds under studio lighting and then melts off your face the moment you start sweating. Not products that force you to choose between being an athlete and looking put together. Ford Cosmetics is designed to do both. These are products built to resist sweat, stay in place during movement, and hold up through physical demands that most cosmetics companies don't even consider when designing their formulas. And honestly, that fills a real gap in the market. Anyone who has ever tried to wear makeup during a workout, a game, or even just a long, hot day knows exactly what Ford is trying to solve: the smearing, the fading, the raccoon eyes by halftime. It's a legitimate problem, and Hull spotted it from a perspective most beauty brand founders simply do not have. She's an elite athlete. She knows what her body goes through. She knows what a 2-hour practice feels like. What a back-to-back road schedule does to your skin. What it means to look professional and composed in media settings right after you've been running at full speed for 40 minutes. That lived experience can't be faked. And it can't be bought from a consultant. Hull has it naturally, and she built a brand around it. Now let's talk about the Instagram signal. On Tuesday, Hull took to her Instagram stories to let the world know that Ford's product launch is approaching. She tagged the brand and posted a simple caption, OTW. That's it. 2 letters and a period. On the way. And somehow, that delivered the most confident energy imaginable. She didn't write a lengthy press release. She didn't stage a dramatic photo shoot with wind machines and soft lighting. She posted 2 letters, tagged her brand, and let it speak for itself. That's the kind of calm, unbothered confidence that comes from someone who knows exactly what they're building and doesn't need to perform excitement for other people. The products are coming. The brand is real. And whether the sports world is paying attention or not, Lexie Hull is moving forward. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, because you knew this was coming. Every single conversation about Lexie Hull eventually has to acknowledge Caitlin Clark. That's just the reality of playing for the Indiana Fever right now. Clark is the gravitational center of everything. The media orbits her. The endorsements chase her. The cameras love her. The discourse never stops. And Hull is her best friend. They came up together through college basketball circles, and their friendship carried into their professional careers. They're genuinely close, and that's a beautiful thing. But it also creates a very specific dynamic that deserves honest examination. Because when your best friend is Caitlin Clark, the sports media is going to spend a lot of time reminding you who the main character is in every story. Every article about Hull eventually references Clark. Every Fever highlight package centers on Clark. Every conversation about Indiana's future circles back to what Clark does next. And to Hull's enormous credit, she's never seemed bitter about it. She shows up. She plays her role. She supports her teammate. Then she goes home and apparently co-founds a cosmetics company in her spare time. That's quiet power. And it doesn't get nearly enough recognition. But let's not be naive. Launching a personal brand while playing second fiddle to the most talked about player in your league is undeniably bold. Whether intentional or not, Hull is planting a flag. With Ford Cosmetics, she's saying she has an identity beyond being Caitlin Clark's teammate. She has business instincts. She has vision. She's building something that belongs entirely to her. And the way she built it says a lot about who she is. She didn't chase shortcuts. She didn't slap her name on someone else's product and call it a collaboration. She built something real. She co-founded a company from the ground up, partnered with someone who brings real industry expertise in Sarah Guller, and focused on solving a genuine problem for a genuine audience. That is not the move of someone chasing a quick cash grab. That is the move of someone thinking long-term. And the product positioning is smart. Makeup that performs as hard as its users do is not just a tagline, it's a philosophy. It speaks directly to a consumer who has been underserved by the traditional beauty industry, the active woman, the athlete, the person who needs her makeup to survive a full day of real life, not just a photo shoot. That consumer exists in enormous numbers. And the WNBA audience, which skews young, female, and increasingly engaged with brand culture, is exactly the kind of community that would rally behind a product like this if it delivers on its promise. Hull has a built-in platform from her years in the league. She has an authentic connection to the target audience because she is the target audience. And she's launching into a moment where women's sports are more commercially viable than they've ever been. The timing is not an accident. Durability as a superpower. Here's something that gets glossed over constantly when people talk about the Fever's roster. Lexie Hull played every game last season. Not most games, every game. In a season where the team was decimated by injuries, where stars were dropping out of rotations left and right, Hull was the constant. She was the one variable that didn't change. That kind of durability is incredibly underrated in professional sports. We celebrate the flashy scorer who drops 40 points in a playoff game, and that's fair. But the player who shows up for all 82 games, or in the WNBA's case, all 40 without missing a beat? That player is the backbone of any legitimate contender. Hull helped Indiana reach the WNBA semifinals last season. That is not a small thing. The Fever were not supposed to hold it together the way they did once their key players went down. And yet, they did in large part because Hull refused to let the wheels fall off. That story deserves to be told louder than it has been. So, where does this all go? Hull is a free agent. She has options. The Fever would be wise to retain her because she's exactly the kind of player who makes championship-caliber rosters work. She's not the headline, she's the reason the headline gets to happen. Ford Cosmetics is about to launch its first set of products. And if the brand delivers on its promise, Hull has the potential to build something genuinely significant off the court. Women's sports are having a commercial moment right now, and athletes who move quickly, thoughtfully, and authentically are positioned to benefit enormously. And through all of it, Caitlin Clark will probably get most of the camera time. Clark will sign the big deals. She'll generate the big discourse. She'll dominate the sports media cycle. That's just the reality. But Lexie Hull? She'll keep showing up. She'll keep grinding on the court. She'll keep building her brand in the background. And when Ford Cosmetics drops, when the reviews come in and the orders start rolling, Hull will have created something that is entirely, unmistakably hers. No teammate's name in the headline. No shadow to stand in. Just Lexie Hull, doing exactly what she's always done while everyone else was watching someone else. Lexie Hull has been doing the work quietly for years. Now she's building something that speaks for itself. And while the sports world keeps spinning around Caitlin Clark, Hull is out here launching businesses and proving she's more than a supporting role. If you respect that kind of hustle, hit the like button and subscribe. You don't want to miss what comes next.